Hi everyone, I'm Lena. It's a pleasure to be here with you one more day. Today we're talking about denim trends. The jeans known as horseshoe, also called barrel jeans, were one of the biggest highlights of 2025. However, this year we're seeing more classic styles, exactly the way I like them. The spirit of 2026 is all about comfort, wide silhouettes, and timeless designs. Before we start, I'd like to remind you that I have a style guide written by me, which I give away to those who comment, "I want the book," in the comments. Now, let's begin. Tailored jeans are positioning themselves as one of the most refined options in denim for 2026. Inspired by classic tailoring, they are defined by a fluid drape, a mid or high rise, and a more structured cut that resembles dress trousers. They often include details like pleats, clean waistbands, or lighter fabrics, making them a perfect alternative to elevate any look. This type of jean works especially well in clean, minimal outfits, combined with blazers, shirts, or even heels, blurring the line between casual and more polished styles. I love tailored jeans because they combine elegance and comfort in a single look. To create an elegant and modern look with these jeans, it's best to pair them with shoes like pointed heels, slingbacks, or minimal-heeled sandals, which help elongate the silhouette. You can also go for leather loafers for a more relaxed but still put-together style. When it comes to bags, structured designs, top handle styles, and minimal clutches are perfect for completing the outfit. The key is to choose pieces in neutral tones and quality materials, keeping the overall look clean and without excess. If there's one style that never fails, it's straight leg jeans. This cut remains consistent year after year because it suits almost everyone and easily adapts to different styles. Neither too tight nor too loose, it creates a very natural balance that works both in casual looks and in more dressed-up combinations. They're also among the easiest to wear on a daily basis. They pair well with basic t-shirts, shirts, blazers, or even more trend-driven pieces. Precisely because of this versatility, they remain a reliable choice in the wardrobe in 2026. Personally, I like them because they are simple, comfortable, and always look good without much effort. By the way, I'd love to know, what's your favorite pair of jeans this season? Let's continue with wide leg jeans. This style has become one of the most seen in recent years. But what's interesting is that many brands have started to reinterpret it with lighter fabrics and cleaner structures, moving away from the overly oversized effect. Labels like The Row and Totem have focused on more refined versions, while magazines like Vogue highlight their versatility as a key reason for their success in 2026. One detail that not everyone considers is the length. This type of jean works much better when it slightly touches the shoe, creating a longer, more continuous line. Depending on how you style it, it can look very relaxed or more put together, which makes it one of the easiest pieces to adapt to different styles. I personally like to pair them with more elegant, fitted tops in lighter fabrics, because the contrast with the volume of the trousers helps balance the silhouette and define the figure. In 2026, cropped jeans are also gaining attention again, especially in cleaner and easier-to-style versions. Even though they don't fall into the most elegant category, they are very practical for everyday wear and work well in more relaxed looks. Personally, I don't wear them as much, but I understand why they're still around. They're comfortable, lightweight, and perfect for in-between seasons. When wearing them, it's important to pay attention to proportions, as exposing the ankle can visually shorten the leg. That's why shoes in the top half are key. A good option is to choose shoes that elongate the silhouette, like pointed heels, ballet flats, strappy sandals, or lighter loafers, or to go for high-rise jeans to balance the proportions. On the other hand, it's better to avoid overly bulky shoes or styles that cover the ankle, as they shorten the leg. This year, denim is moving slightly away from classic blue and making room for more neutral, easy-to-style colors. Gray, in particular, has become a very interesting alternative because it keeps that simple feel while adding a more modern touch. What's interesting about this shade is that it works almost like a basic. It pairs well with black, white, beige, or even monochrome looks, creating cleaner outfits. Depending on the wash, lighter or darker, it can feel more casual or slightly more polished. I usually prefer darker jeans, but in summer I'm sure I'll wear these more than once. Low-rise jeans are making a comeback in 2026 after years out of the spotlight, largely driven by the return of early 2000s aesthetics. Brands like Miu Miu and Diesel have embraced this cut on the runway, and magazines like Vogue highlight its return as one of the most talked about trends. Unlike other, easier silhouettes, low-rise is a more difficult style to wear, as it completely changes the body's proportions. It tends to work better with shorter or more fitted tops, so the shape isn't lost. It's not my favorite because it's neither the most comfortable nor the easiest to style, and I also don't think it's a particularly elegant look. But that's how fashion works. It's always changing and eventually comes back again. In 2026, the fabric itself is starting to gain more importance, and this is where lightweight denim stands out. Compared to traditional denim, it's thinner, more flexible, and much more comfortable in warm weather, making it a very practical option for summer. What's interesting is that it's not so much about a specific cut, but about how it feels when you wear it. It adapts better to the body, moves more easily, and feels less heavy, something we're valuing more and more in everyday life. To me, it's one of those trends that doesn't stand out immediately at first glance, but actually changes the way we dress in summer. That said, for a more elegant style, I still prefer trousers with more structure. As a bonus, there are a few key points worth keeping in mind. First, it's also important to know which jeans to avoid in 2026, such as overly tight styles, excessively ripped ones, or those that look too worn out. Choosing the right jeans for your body can also make a big difference, since not every cut suits everyone the same way. Another important aspect is common mistakes when wearing jeans, like the wrong length, poor shoe pairing, or unbalanced proportions. And finally, something essential. It's not just the jeans themselves, but how you style them that really defines the final result. Colors, materials, and fit are what make a look feel more polished or more simple. In the end, it's not just about following trends, but about knowing how to adapt them to your own style. Although they may not be the most dominant trends of 2026, there are still several styles that continue to hold their place in the fashion landscape. Rather than leading the conversation, these trends exist more quietly, complementing the more prominent silhouettes of the season. For instance, cigarette jeans are making a strong comeback, positioning themselves as a more polished and refined alternative to overly tight cuts. They provide a cleaner look while still maintaining a slim shape, which makes them especially versatile for different occasions. At the same time, distressed jeans haven't disappeared. Instead, they've evolved into much subtler versions, with minimal rips and more understated detailing that feel easier to incorporate into everyday outfits. Choosing well, combining with intention, and investing in more timeless pieces is what really makes a look work and stand the test of time. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to subscribe, give it a like, and let me know in the comments which jeans were your favorite. See you in the next video.